So we recently ran a poll on the channel asking who'd win in a straight-up fight between 200 CADIAN Marksmen and 200 Bloodletters of Khorne. And the results are in. Now in the comment section I noticed some interesting things. A lot of you were saying that in lore the Bloodletters would win, on the tabletop the Bloodletters would win. However, in this simulation, a lot of you actually thought that it'd be the CADIAN Marksmen that win, with an overwhelming 56% of people thinking that the CADIANs will bring the victory home. So naturally the next thing to do is to run the simulation itself. So here we've got our 200 CADIAN Marksmen, and on the other side of the field here we've got our 200 Bloodletters of Khorne. Now the terrain between them is relatively flat with a few bits of barbed wire scattered here and there, but ultimately not too many obstacles here for the attackers or the defenders. And for the purposes of this test we're going to be running the game at half speed just so we can see what happens. Right, that's enough yapping. Now let's see what happens. Here we go. This should be relatively interesting. We've got all of our Bloodletters here. I've actually had to turn it down to 0.2 of the speed of the simulation here, but just because there's so many lighting effects coming off these guys when they actually start moving. Yeah, it really tanks the frame rate. So we've got this set to 0.2. You can see we've got our 200 Bloodletters here, and it looks like the marksmen are already opening up on them, which is exactly what you would expect. A lot of them here gonna move up into position, but just look at that glowy horde in the distance. Will they actually be able to take out any of these Bloodletters? No. In reality, technically, maybe one or two, I would imagine that lore-wise is what they'd be able to take out. You can see that they've actually got these shields here that are absorbing a lot of the firepower at this moment. This guy's just bolting it forward. Can they actually go through obstacles here? Okay, so yeah, it looks like the terrain is absolutely no problem for these Bloodletters. Okay, that's very interesting. Yeah, they can just destroy the wire. So they're actually technically like vehicles then in this game. So yeah, for them to be able to just run through the terrain like that, oh god, look at all this last fire. Even though it's marksman last fire, these demons are still just going forward, and this is just a couple of them. They're struggling this hard with just a few of them. Here we go, the first one making its way in. What's going to happen to our CADIANs here? Look at this, one of them's actually pulling out a grenade over here. This could be dangerous. You don't want to be... Okay, I don't know whether that was the CADIAN doing that or if that was the beast itself, because now it seems to be stood still. The other 200 haven't even got close here yet, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I'm guessing that the explosions here are coming from the beast themselves. Either that or it is the marksmen throwing grenades at each other. But yeah, come on, let's see one of these guys get ripped apart like that in the background. Oh my god. I just saw a guardsman get turned to chunks over here. Loads of them getting blasted through the air. But yeah, it looks like even just a couple of Bloodletters here is really giving these 200 marksmen a run for the money. Let's just try speed this up ever so slightly. Let's take it up to half speed now. Yeah, so there we go. That's all right. With them not having all of the Bloodletters on screen, we've still got some pretty decent frame rate here. But yeah, I think this is clear that the Bloodletters are just absolutely overwhelming the marksmen. All the marksmen tried to cower in the trench over here. I don't know if that's going to help you, lads. These guys look like they can just blast their way through absolutely everything. I mean, okay, that's a terrifying sight. Pretty much all the marksmen are dead now, and I don't think we lost a single Bloodletter here. Not one has died, ladies and gentlemen, but all 200 marksmen are dead. So this begs the question, how many marksmen do we need then to actually start taking an effect on this? Okay, so we've doubled the amount to 400 now. Let's see how these guys hold out. Well, my frame rate's certainly taken a hit. I'm having to run this in 0.2 speed here, but that is definitely a lot more last fire that's coming out, and it actually feels like some of these shields are failing a little bit earlier on, but whether we'll actually kill a Bloodletter, that's yet to remain to be seen here. Oh, just look at all these CADIANs here. Oh, my frame rates, my poor frame rate. Oh no. The first Bloodletters now closing that gap right towards the marksmen. Are they going to be able to survive? This is going to get real interesting real quick. Just remember, there's just over 400 here now. I think there's actually about 420. A good round up there, 420, I would say. Let's see if that helps out the guardsmen at all. What's this Bloodletter doing? He's just happy running right into that wall. Okay, the powers of the warp are strong with this one. Where's he going? I don't know. But let's see what happens at the front line now. So I'm assuming that these explosions that are going off have got to be something to do with the Bloodletters here. Maybe it's the war powers. Oh god, I don't think we're going to kill another one here at all. I think we're just going to get chunks of CADIANs thrown all over the place. Oh, already it's looking pretty brutal here. Okay, I'm actually starting to wonder now, can these marksmen even deal damage to the bloodletters? That's the next question, because you know what I'm going to do after this? I'm going to up it to 800 marksmen. And if my computer doesn't crash, and if that doesn't work, well, then it hands down just the bloodletters. God, this looks so brutal down here. Look at all the bodies on the floor, the bloodletters just ripping their way through the marksmen. The crazy thing is, Khorne's yet to commit all of his forces. I mean, to be fair, 200 bloodletters is quite a big challenge here. I don't know then. Is that a shield disappearing, or is that one of them warping out of existence? I'm not quite sure here. Either way, we might actually be getting close to dealing some damage to one of these bloodletters. Be interesting to see how they actually die here. Did they just like disappear into a pile of sulfur, or did they actually leave a body on the floor? But yeah, look, oh, poor Cadians. Oh my god. Okay, look, so we are seeing grenades get thrown here. Look, there's one right in the middle of the screen now. It's about to land. So yeah, okay, the explosions then are the marksmen killing themselves. That's what that is. Although that explosion went off over here, which is interesting. So the grenade was, yeah, that was the grenade that was thrown there. So I don't know what that other one is. I didn't see another grenade coming in. But yeah, these point-blank explosions are really deadly. Oh my god, what the hell? Someone just got flung off the side of the screen there. I don't even know what that was. God, these bloodletters look absolutely terrified here. Just look at this guy. They always remind me of, like, Doom. There's got to be some crossover here, because they definitely look like the Hellims from Doom. Which is really cool, actually. I'd love there to be a Doom mod so we can get all the Doom guy in here with all the Hell Demons. But okay, I think we got our answer here. 400 marksmen, not enough. I still don't see a single dead bloodletter here, which is worrying. So, let's up it to 800 and find out what happens. Okay, so now with 800 CADIAN Marksmen are now here on our screen, and honestly, I'm surprised the game can even render this many. Just to put this into perspective, here on the CADIAN side alone, we've got 2,500 animated entities. That's not even including the map itself or the bloodletters. But we're not here to gush about the rendering abilities, we're here to see if these 800 can actually take on our bloodletters. Oh god, the frame rates. Oh god, help me. What have I done to my poor computer? Oh, this is running so slow. Okay, I've been forced to turn the simulation down to 0.1 speed here. My computer is screaming out, rendering all these entities at once while recording a video. I mean, RIP, I can literally feel my CPU cooking now. But things are looking promising. We are focusing a lot of fire onto a single demon here who is leading the charge. God, every time I move the camera, the frame rate just dies. But look at all this last fire that's just coming in here. So if this doesn't do it, I don't know what will. Because quite frankly, that's 800 marksmen over there. Not just marksmen, CADIAN marksmen. I mean, I can't even see the demon. There's that much last fire going through him. And is it even having an effect, though? That's the question here. Is this guy going to go down? Are we finally going to kill one? It feels like he should be close to death. But whether he actually is a totally different question here, because the guy's just running forward. Oh my god. This is insane. Okay, after this, what we might have to test is just a single demon against all of them, just to see if the CADIANs couldn't even handle a single bloodletter here, because I've got a feeling this is not going well. I mean, he's managed to close that gap. I can't see his shield anymore, so it's got to be taking down his health pool, right? It's got to be. Blood's coming off him. He's been leaking goo the entire way here. And now he's getting to the melee. Come on. Can we do it? He's going for a charge. He is literally just charging through them all. Oh, his shield's back up. What's he doing? Where's he going? Is he just running through them all here? What is going on? What is this guy? Oh, my frame rate. I'm so sorry. Oh, come on. Let's keep the camera still. Hopefully that'll help. I don't know what's going on here. Is he dead? Is he alive? What's happening? His shield's definitely back up though, which is not a good sign. Okay, I think he's actually managed to close the gap there and is actually alive. That's terrifying. My poor computer. I am so sorry, computer. I didn't mean to do this to you. It just sort of happened. 1 minute we were there with 200 marksmen, next we're here with 800. You know, it just happens. One good thing though, with every CADIAN that dies here, I am getting some of my frame rate back. So slowly but surely, this will become a lot prettier, for me at least. The demons are just ripping them a new one here. It's almost like they stand absolutely no chance whatsoever. They're just getting obliterated by the demons. I'm really surprised that we haven't killed a single one. What happened to that? Oh, maybe we did, look! Maybe we did, because there was one that got through the back line there, wasn't there? And look, there's just a blood patch that's left now. So maybe that is what happens to them then. When the bloodletters die here, did they just turn into these big patches of goo? That is awesome. An awesome detail, by the way, developers, if that's the case. I know Penguin and Doom watches the videos occasionally, so please, if you are watching this, mate, let me know. Do they explode into a big pile of goo? If not, why not? But yeah, hopefully then, that means we have actually killed one. There's another one back here. Let's keep an eye on this guy. He is just running through them all. It's like the charging, almost. It kind of reminds me of a tank just running people over. Okay, look, there's another big pile of goo here, and I saw a big sulfuric explosion there, so maybe, just maybe, we did get another one there killed. I want to catch one dying on screen here, though. I want to see what it's actually like for him, because honestly, I've never actually used these bloodletters, so this is the first time I've ever seen them in this game. I'll say one thing about this. It's a hell of a pretty light show going on here. Again, I think one just died right here behind him. I'm not 100% sure, but it is a possibility, because I saw a big flame, and look, now there's a blood patch on the floor there. We're just trying to keep an eye on these guys at the back line as well, because hopefully they should be some of the easier ones for the Cadians to target here. But not yet. It doesn't seem like... I think because there's so many units and entities on the screen, the AI is having a little bit of trouble working out what the hell is going on. It's got too many things to process. Oh, God, that actually went through that guardsman's face. The bloodletter just cleft him right in the face, just straight through the jaw. There's so many little explosions going off as well. It's got to be these guys throwing grenades. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get one demon at the end of this, just so we can see what happens. God, just look at that battlefield. There's so many Cadian corpses everywhere now. It's a little bit sad, actually. It's not a thing I like to see. Cadia stands, ladies and gentlemen. Cadia stands! Okay, I think I'm going to risk it. I think I'm going to risk trying to turn up the game speed just a little bit. Let's go to half speed here. Oh, that's a bit too much. Okay, let's go down to 2x speed. Oh, that's still a little bit too much here, but maybe it'll sort itself out quickly. No, the frame rate's still horrible. What's going on? How come we've got so many? Maybe it's because, to be honest, there's probably still about 200 Cadians left on the field here. There's actually still quite a few left, which is surprising. These bloodletters have been a little bit lax here. Maybe they're just enjoying their kills. I think the insane thing about this is that Khorne didn't even commit all of his forces. Look at that. There's still loads of them in the background who haven't even taken a single point of damage yet. God, this is a truly, truly terrifying sight. Imagine being on a battlefield like this with just bloodletters ripping down into your trench line. Now, one thing I will say, though, about this is that these are actually marksmen. I'm not sure. This, to me, doesn't look like a long glass. It just looks like your standard glass gun. So I don't think they've got anything like the hot shot round or anything like that, which might be really useful to take on these kind of demons. But to me, this looks pretty much like GG here for our 800 Cadians. We have got a few of them who are cowering behind the Gates house on this side here, but yeah, I don't think if the first volley wasn't going to get them, these guys are just going to die slowly. So, let's go to our final test here then. So, for our final test, we're down to this guy, a single bloodletter here. What's actually going to happen to this guy? Is he going to explode into a pile of goo? Is he going to single-handedly take on all the marksmen? It'll be interesting to find out. Looking at this from the marksman's point of view is a little bit insane, to be honest. That's such a high concentration of blast fire. Again, though, because there's 800 Cadian marksmen on the field here, I have got the game in ×1 speed here, so it's going really super slow. Or at least we'll be able to get to see, ultimately, what happens to these demons, and if the marksmen can truly kill them by themselves. I mean, amazingly, somehow he's still going. He's been doing this for like 2 minutes now, just closing the gap between him and the marksman. And I feel like he's going to get some kills off here, which is kind of ridiculous that we've got 800 marksmen over here. Now, granted, not all of them can shoot him simultaneously. That's sort of a given here, but there's plenty of them who are able to open fire. They're about to get into some horrific crossfire. Let's see what this guy actually does now. Is he just going to walk through them all like he did on the previous one? Oh no, so he bodged his way through them first guys there. A nice big upwards blade slicing at 3 or 4. Oh my god, he just sliced so many Cadians all at once then. Now he's charging forward again. He's literally barraging his way through the Cadian lines, which I absolutely love. Look, he literally charged into the Cadian over here. And then his head fell off. Oh god, these are the grenades that are coming in now. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that the explosions are definitely coming. Oh, they do. That is really cool. So yeah, when you see that purple explosion then, that was the Bloodletter dying. And look at that. It does explode into a pool of goo on the floor. That is really awesome. 10 out of 10 devs. I love that kind of stuff. The only thing I'd say, personally, because it's me, the blood splatter's not big enough. I want it to cover half the map, but that's just me. I love goo. Oh my god. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Turns out that the mod is pretty lore accurate here. The Bloodletters absolutely trampled the Cadians. There was nothing they could do. And honestly, I really love that. I think too many video games just portray the Imperial Guard as way too overpowered. No, they're a flimsy meat shield, and the Bloodletters just treated them exactly like that. I would imagine that if you had your standard squad of Bloodletters coming in here, and these weren't even the elite Bloodletters, these were just the normal ones. They weren't even mounted on hounds or anything like that, so that was just pure brilliant there. As always, let me know what you'd like to see in the Versus Arena next, and keep an eye out for the polls for your chance to vote on who's going to win in our next battle. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, peace.